Hello? This is sort of amazing. Whoa. So it's very interesting because I'm using slightly different software setup this time, trying to make sure everything is coming together. And it looks like you guys can hear just fine. Ooh, but I am going to unmute myself. I had to mute myself because I'm also watching us all in a very delayed fashion over on another screen. So here's the deal. We've been wanting to live chat more, and it got super busy with a bunch of travels in May, and then in June, I was taking this crazy intense course on vocology from like the GOAT, the greatest of all time vocal researcher, Ingo Tietze. Dr. Ingo Tietze is amazing. So we decided that what we'd do is bring a live chat to you today and maybe even play a game where we talk about cool voice things. So Kirk has organized a really fun game that is going to be taken, we'll explain it to you in a bit. But essentially, everyone is going to be invited to play. You'll just need another, like a mobile device where you can do it from your computer to play, and it's going to be like a trivia game about voice stuff, and whoever wins is going to, oh, there's a Kirk! I don't know if you can see this.
Can you mute yourself in Teams, please?
Oh, yes. Oh, this is driving him crazy.
Now I can hear.
Wait, but did you guys see Kirk come back? Do you see that? Do you see that right there? This? Da-da-da-dum. Yeah, that's right. So one of the things that we're going to do as a reward is you will get access to the very first Charismatic Voice merch. And people that win are all going to get t-shirts.
And you're going to have to explain the Christmas tree.
Oh, okay, yes. I'm going to talk with you in chat now. Okay, so Christmas tree. Here's the deal. That is my annual tree. And I have it because it makes me happy. It's super cool. But you guys probably don't even know this. Let's see how far this stretches. Ooh, how far does it stretch? Okay, it stretches kind of far. I think many of you will appreciate this. So I have teacups on this tree because I love tea. Surprise, surprise. And I have these little ornaments that have book pages in it. And the books are some of my favorite books, like The Fellowship of the Ring. So it's cool. Feedback or hum in the background. Is everybody else hearing that as well? Let me know. Kraken is present, don't worry. The Krakedo is here. I know, the shirt's great. And yes, with the kilt, I know. It's the best. Let's see. Oh, and thank you, Ruben, always. So, yeah, he's knocking in echo. Is there still a lot of echo? Let me know. I'm catching up with you guys here. Yeah, gear. Boo, that looks good. That was Lion Witch in the wardrobe. Oh, thanks, Josh. Oh, what's my favorite song from the musical Phantom of the Opera? That's a good question.
Echo.
I really like Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. And I don't know, I mean, the actual Phantom of the Opera song, like where she's singing going really high at the end, it's very impressive. But I feel like the keenness of the emotion more in Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again. But there's so many good choices from that. If you asked me a different day, I might choose a different song. That was a good question, though. Okay, good. It looks good here. Very little background noise. You're good. Perfect. Thank you. And yeah, Glory Hammer was awesome. It's lovely to see so many of you here right now. So you have a Christmas tree right next to your computer monitor? That's amazing. It's particularly amazing. At some point, I think I'm going to have to make a unicorn Christmas tree. This one, of course, is reading and tea, two of my favorite ways to relax. And there's some Alice in Wonderland ornaments on it too, because it kind of ties it in. But I've had a lot of different fun trees. I've had a beech tree once upon a time, and it had a parrot on top. Of course, there's a Halloween tree. I guess I didn't put my 4th of July tree decorations up. There's hilarious cupcake toothpick toppers that make it look like the tree has fireworks coming out of it, which is kind of cute. Totally. Homeboy wears kilts all the time. Just so you know, that's like the thing. Thank you, Matt. Merry Christmas to you too. Any plans for unicorns invading the channel? Gloryhammer, yeah, it's happening. Totally. And thanks for the Angelina Jordan things. Yeah, and man, it's so fun to see you guys talking about the different things that we've had on the channel so far. We've been really, really trying to bring a combination of like songs that we know you're gonna love. So songs that you've requested the most, and songs that we've tallied up in YouTube comments, or songs that have been coming directly through our patrons as well. So we try to keep this balance of most requested songs with a combination of a little bit of variety in there. And that's what the My Choice Day often is about, is bringing you something that might be a little bit different. Or maybe I've seen requests for a song for a really long time, but it's never been a top requested song. A great example of that was yesterday with Avantasia, which I learned how to say. Thank you. So thank you. It's difficult to balance the content. We see tons of requests and we want to make sure that we're bringing you great information. So anyhow, that is our strategy, is give you the stuff that you want the most, give you a little bit of variety, and then there's just like some sort of peppers in every now and then as well. So most requested, and definitely Patreon requests too. Oh, thank you for out of her mind. I like that. Why the Christmas tree? Again, Chris Banks, because this is my annual tree, and it is there all year long. Simply put, Christmas makes me happy, and taking the Christmas tree down makes me a little bit sad. So I kept a tree in my office, and I've done this for years as well, and just decorate it for different seasons. Right now, I think the only thing that makes it look Christmassy in particular are the Christmas lights. I think that those lights are just beautiful and dreamy, like fairies. Oh, thank you. What song have I reacted to, analyzed me, that surprised me the most? That's a great question, Magnus. I'm supposed to be quick fire at these questions. I'm supposed to be getting faster at them, I know, but I'm very thoughtful. So instead, I really think that Ginger really surprised me the first time she opened her mouth. That was shocking. I'm thinking about Hurt really got me. I will say Johnny Cash, Hurt, that just really, it got me in a way that I was totally not expecting. So maybe I'd actually go with that. I've heard crazy vocal things, but yeah, Johnny Cash, Hurt is just very, very, very shocking. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Bondo Bird. Would like Kill Switch engages cover of Holy Diver. Okay. I will say, I'm curious about covers of Dio songs, for sure. Simpleton thinks he did a good job. Thanks for that suggestion, Bondo Bird. It is really truly because of the channel that I've fallen in love with Dio. He's amazing. He's so good. He's so very, very good. And also, I feel like it is because of the channel and because of Patreon that I've also fallen in love with Tommy Karevic. I'm trying to get his name pronounced correctly because I used to say Karevic, and that is not correct. And you guys will benefit from that soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Stay tuned for next week. All right, let's see. I want to get into some of this. Oh, hi, Mark. I want to get into some really fun trivia about voice, and I'm going to also look at some more questions. I might have Kirk come in here and explain how we're going to get playing this voice game, and I'll keep going with your questions while we're doing it as well. Nanowar's new single could happen. I know, Camelot, but let's just talk about Seventh Wonder for a hot second. Really underrated, I think, that I've seen so far. Great Sword or Batleth. That is a shard blade. That's a shard blade, and we can smack each other with the shard blades safely because they are LARPing cleared. Let's see, what else have I got here? Any more Haley Reinhardt? Of course, we'll definitely have more of her. MPB and Bossa Nova, yes, like that very much. Jesus Christ Superstar, yes, I do like that. I think there's been a recent resurgence that I've seen in singers really loving Jesus Christ Superstar. Or maybe it's just around me, but I've seen a lot of students recently bringing songs from Jesus Christ Superstar in, which is fun. Haven't reacted to Bruce Springsteen. Time for some more Aurora. We were actually just investigating another Aurora song recently. Rammstein. Sam, we talked about this last night. It is very likely that we will probably do more Rammstein eventually, but when we do Rammstein, we just have to expect that there's going to be a temporary copyright strike on the channel, and we won't be able to publish it for about 2 months. Their publisher is very, very strict on that. They don't really take into consideration what fair use is, and are known for just going straight through and pushing until it's time to have a lawsuit, in which case I think it makes no sense to have a lawsuit against us because we have fair use. So they would lose. Please do another reaction with Sean Daniel, The Day the World Works Down. Thank you, Tom. Okay. I'll let Sean know that you requested that, and that seems like it'd be really fun to do together. And thanks. I absolutely adore Sean. I'm sure you guys get that. We just have a fun time. So I hate myself and want to die. Man, that's a very strong name, and I hope that at this moment you really enjoy being here. I have heard Nirvana. I haven't ever done an analysis of Nirvana. I'm not really sure what I would say there. It's more like I heard Nirvana in high school. I haven't since, applied the vocal training and ears that have developed over a few decades. I haven't applied them to Nirvana. So I'm curious. And thank you. Thank you. When will I start my own symphonic metal band? I think it'd be super fun. Just say, I think it'd be super fun to do. I'm not sure that I could dedicate the time to it to make it really at that level that I would want to be at. It takes a lot of time, but we never know. I think it'd be really fun. I've had actually quite a few requests to sing with some metal groups that have come through different emails or that kind of thing, and just haven't felt like it was the right time, or I have a lot of other recording projects that I need to get done at the moment. So, Shine Down. This is so fun. I've seen a lot of requests for Shine Down and Symphony X lately. Thank you guys. Yes. Kill Switch. I know. Everybody's talking about this now. All right. And Led Zeppelin. You guys have great recommendations. Hey, Jacob. Which is better, Lasered Power Goblin Smasher or Thunder Striking Wizard Thrasher? That's a really good question. Laser powered. Well, I like getting rid of goblins more than wizards. I think wizards are kind of quirky and fun. So I'm leaning towards the Goblin Smasher. But Thunder Striking, harnessing the power of thunder is amazing. Why have lasers when you have, laser powered? Because the thing is, lasers are so amazing for even the smallest task. You can do little surgery with lasers. It's amazing. So anyhow, okay, so laser powered Goblin Smasher, even though the wizard is actually harder to defeat. Okay. Thank you, G-Man. That was really sweet. That's super sweet. Thank you. That's great. Hi, Pia. It's lovely to see you, Pia. Have I heard Comfortably Numb with Pink Floyd? Yes, that was actually on a patron playlist, and I cried a little bit during that song. I kind of wish it wasn't on the patron playlist because I can't do a first-time reaction now, and but I'm not really well-versed in Pink Floyd, so if there is another Pink Floyd song that you guys want to bring onto the channel, let me know. Comfortably Numb is really the first one that I think I've probably heard Pink Floyd on a radio at various times, or, you know, played in the background, but never been into them. So I thought Comfortably Numb was amazing. Just amazing. Yeah. Brandon, hi. I hope you can do Lordy, Shaman's Harvest, and Raw. Thank you. Thank you for those recommendations. I know that we are, if you guys have done a super chat, that does log, so we can look at those recommendations later, and we'll add them to our list. We have a very long list of recommendations, but it really is helpful when you guys recommend, and when you keep recommending, like you see with Avantasia, it comes about eventually, if I see it a lot. So let's see. Oh, am I likely to do more leprous reactions? Yes is the answer. That is one extraordinary voice. I really, really love his voice. We had some difficulties with the first leprous video and copyright, which is why I kind of backed away on that. It was blocked for a while. So we're going to have to be careful in our approach, but I really want to feature some more leprous. That will probably be a My Choice day. I just really, really, really love leprous. That's why I spam my skunk Anansi or Nina Hagen. Yep. Yes, and yes. You should absolutely spam that. Well, let me correct that. Put that on every single video or request it in every single chat. You know, don't request it like 15 times in a chat, because then it's a little bit difficult to everybody, I think. But please, cheers to you as well, and you rock. And please keep posting that on videos, because I want to hear some skunk Anansi. I have heard a little bit, but would love more. Hey Sean, my voice is beautiful. Oh, thank you. To have you singing in the wrap-up audio. Oh, also I should do Rush. That would be fun. We were talking about maybe doing like an all-vocal, we could do an all-vocal ringtone or an all-vocal intro. That would be fun. I love all-vocal covers and recordings, so that's one of my big jams right now. Okay, I think I've got most of your questions there done. All right. Have I heard, I am, my first King Diamond, by the way, Jedi, my first King Diamond reaction is going to be coming out on Friday. So, it's the first song I've ever heard by him. It's sort of fascinating. All right, Kirk McCune, can you tell us how to play this game? And I'm going to switch over, and I'm still watching chat here, okay? So it's still there, but I am going to switch the scene over. I'm going to go like this. Can you guys still hear me? Are we all good? Did I switch over fine? Aw, thank you, CMC. Aw, I love that. Was that a red panda trophy? Or it looks like a fox, maybe.
Wait, were you calling me?
Yes, okay.
Okay.
So we have this game that I just came up.
Yes, okay.
Or that just came up.
Yeah, and you're going to have to explain the rules, because I'm managing it in the other room.
Yeah.
So the rules are going to be on the screen, but let's talk about prizes first.
Okay, prizes. Because
Okay.
everybody wants to know about prizes.
Where's the camera? The camera's up here? Okay,
Yeah,
prizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through this game. Now, this game is hard. I mean this when I say the questions are hard, the answers are difficult, and time is the key to success. So as explained in the rules, the faster you answer these answers, or faster you answer these questions correctly, the more points you score. And the top 3 scorers at the end of the game, which there's like 30 questions or something crazy. 16. The top three winners at the end of this game will receive. They'll be entered into a drawing at the end of the year
for a bigger prize.
For a bigger prize, which we will not disclose until later. But since we're going to do one live stream between each month, between now and the actual holiday, there will be essentially 15 entrants. So it's a pretty good chance that you can win. My math is
prize.
And my math is way off, because 6 times 3 is not 15.
Darling.
Also, Also, the top 5 from today will receive a piece of merch.
Yeah, okay,
So
we have been hard at work developing merch. This is the only one you're going to see before the 500K party.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be clear, 500K party is going to probably be on August 6th. Tentatively planned on August 6th. We haven't announced yet because it isn't totally firm. But we're definitely going to be getting merch released then. And this is the shirt. We've got to test one of this so far that the top 5 winners today will get. So we'll have to get your email addresses and things so we can send it to you. By the way, IWD, I'm not a viewer, but I know, animated expressions and the mix of clinical with sheer joy you bring to the reactions has kept me here. Thank you. I tried to bring extra value to the songs. We really appreciate that and appreciate you being here with us. I like our community. We're awesome. We're full of really awesome people. And Rena K. Oh, you recommended Pop Nana Heading, retired due to tongue cancer. Oh man, ton of pop records. Check wherever you go live. Melody Festivalen. Thank you. Thank
also, I've seen this message come a few times. A Cam 5000. More drinking with Opeth. I agree. I agree. That should happen.
Yeah, I get it.
That should happen.
That was really fun.
Yeah. In fact, maybe we set up an interview with you and
maybe we could.
Mikkel and
I don't know. I guess maybe we have people.
You both drink
that we
instead
know.
of tea. You both have cocktails. That sounds fantastic. So maybe we could do something like that. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start things, and Elizabeth's going to read things off. Just be very clear. You guys do see, because I see 38 people or 54 people in the game so far. To join the game in your web browser, you can go to ahaslides.com/TCV live. It's on your screen right now. There's also going to be a barcode option for those of you that have your smartphones. You can use your camera, use the barcode, and it will pull it up for you as well. So here we go.
All right. And Matt G, I see your super chat. That's awesome. You said you're freaking out. What an honor to super chat the great charismatic voice. So amazing. Thank you. And also, Andy, would I be interested in a real countertenor singing Rammstein? Yes, I would. Now, that's the kind of thing that I probably would listen to more likely within Patreon, because if he's singing Rammstein, there's going to be a cover strike against it too, and it's going to be a pain in the butt to clear. But that being said, I'd be very interested in that. This is the QR code. You guys see Kirk in the background. So
I opened the door so I can hear, because otherwise I'm going to be 10 seconds behind everything.
So that's a QR code. You know, everybody, you can scan that on your phones and join in, or you can just go to the TCV Live. This is going to be trivia. It's going to be fun. And a lot of this is based, again, on the course that I just took with Ingo Tietze. So it's all about voice. I know I'm going to get nerdy. I'm going to talk about voice. I want you guys to ask me questions about voice, please. I love voice science and how it functions. I just love it. And yes, he still is wearing a kilt. It's because he's Scottish, but also because I understand that kilts are comfortable. So it makes sense. So I hope everybody's in. Okay, it looks like we still have a bunch of people joining, so we might hold on this for just a couple seconds and I'll answer some questions in chat. Florence Welch, not sure. Drowning pole bodies? Interesting. To Heaven, thank you. I see that, so let's say hello to Heaven, Temple of the Dog. Just FYI, I don't post it too many times or we're going to have to make you quiet. Damien Beatty, I'm hoping that you will collab with the lovely Kirk for a reaction to Winter Sun, Sons of Winter and Stars live rehearsal at Sonic Punk Studios, a drummer and the new bass player from Nightwish. Okay, so we have the clear to do more stuff from Believe Music right now. So that was one of the reasons we held off on Winter Sun before. And you can be sure that we are not holding off in our prep work now. Hello. Greetings from Poland. Hi. Stormlight series favorite character? Navani. Yeah. I don't know how much you guys have read, but so I won't talk too much about her. But if you've read the whole series, I think you'll believe it when I say I feel that kinship with Navani. She's the character I identify with the most. Would I ever consider doing Maiden Monday sort of thing? You know, I would be hesitant, actually, to do that. That was a really good question, Tyler. We are going to have more Iron Maiden. I'd be hesitant to do Maiden Mondays because we ran into a problem with Dimash where the copyright stuff shifted, so we couldn't keep doing Dimash Mondays. And I felt bad about not being able to bring that to the channel anymore, so I don't want to feel that guilt again. All right, I think that we're going to start up with this awesome trivia. So I hope everybody has it. And here's the deal. If you've scanned in, you're going to have like usernames. So I think you've got either you've gone to the website and you've joined, or you've hopefully scanned in the QR code. Remember, you have prizes. You're going to, top 5 people get a Charismatic Voice shirt, and top 3, so they'll also get a shirt, but they're going to be entered in a raffle for a bigger prize. So it's kind of fun times, everybody, I hope. Did I pass my beatboxing exam, Juliet? I had a little break in the beatboxing for the last month because of the other stuff going on, and I'm really excited to start my lessons again next week. Anyhow, I'm very excited about it. Rules of the game. Here we go. Each round, a question will appear with either multiple choice or true, false. The quicker you answer, the more points you will score. And once you select your answer, click the submit button at the bottom of your screen. So do make sure you click that submit button really quickly, otherwise you'll get into trouble and it won't submit on time. Highest score at the end of the game wins. It's pretty straightforward, hopefully. By the way, Nebulous Crime. I haven't heard of Pensie's Nocturnes. Crazy clowns doing operatic carnival black metal. Whoa. Do I still coach voice? Yes. Tons. I do tons. I teach so much. I've really had to try and narrow down how much I'm teaching because I've had so many requests. So I have a course, Demystifying Singing, that I run, and yes, and that's an adorable panda, but I also have regular private students. Yes, so Nebulous, yeah. All right, so waiting for players to join. Thank you for the red panda, Kirk. Yeah, okay, put in your names. I love this. Look at your names. This is great. Look at all of these people. This is such a good feeling of community as I see these names popping up. Let's see. I'm going to ask some more. Why is the QR code so much larger than you? It's because I put my little screen up to the side. I could make my screen bigger, but then you won't be able to see all of the questions and information. Beatboxing. I've been taking beatboxing lessons with Lane Stein from Voice Play.
This is interesting, though.
Oh, I have like a double.
Yeah.
I have no idea what. Oh, I guess that's the Teams double and the eCam double.
But there's no team. Oh, yeah.
This is fascinating, guys.
We're learning stuff.
Yeah, I guess you have like a little mini me also down there.
Not on mine.
And we're not even timed the same. That's fascinating. Okay.
We've got, we're missing 17 players, but we're going to start in about 30 seconds.
Scott, what do I think of other singers? Julia Lejneva, I don't know that singer particularly. I think opera singers in general are pretty dang cool, and they make great colleagues most of the time. Every now and then there's a wacko one, or one that is just a little too full of themselves. I understand why those things develop. Most opera singers are really, really sweet, really dedicated to their craft, and really dedicated to bringing a good performance. So everyone, do get your name in here. I see tons of names there already. That's beautiful. But it looks like we have 166 players and 179 or 180 watching. So make sure you hop in there if you can. Oh, thank you, Hope for Peace. Came for Dimash and stayed for me and my marvelous engaged content. I am constantly trying to bring you guys great content. I really, really want to do that. This is why we read your comments. This is why we track the things you ask for. It's because we want to make sure that we're bringing you content that you find valuable, that adds value to your life. So hopefully this really cool game is going to add value to your life.
Are we ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, here we go. We're missing some people, but we're going to start.
All right, so that's the leaderboard will eventually have scores.
And here we go.
Here we go. Oh, let's start the quiz.
Oh
no, what happened?
What?
Oh well. What's the average length of an adult male's vocal tract? Things that I've learned. I'm going to talk a little bit about these questions and why this is sort of fascinating. And yeah, OBS is tricky. We have a lot of interesting things. Hey yo, 17 centimeters is the correct answer there. So here's the deal. 17 centimeters, I think it's like 14.5 or 15 for females, adult. The longer the vocal tract is, the darker the darker the timbre can become. So sometimes you can even lengthen your vocal tract by like extending your lips. Opera singers do this a lot. It'll make their color a little bit darker overall. So hey, I know, fun ones. I know we missed question number 1. Don't know where it went. We might have to just mention it later. And yes, it is a Christmas tree. It's actually an annual tree because I love Christmas and it makes me happy all year long. You know what? Don't worry about missing the instructions. You can always join if you go to this slides. There's like a little web address on top. You can join there. But also, I hope you guys will just all learn a bunch of information and ask me questions about voice in general. Okay. What's my favorite Vivaldi mezzo? I think Cecilia Bartoli has sung a lot of Vivaldi that was really, really fantastic. So I would go for that. Some people say she's a soprano, but I think she's still a mezzo that's just got a really great range. How long is my vocal tract? I don't know. It's actually, like, that would be very difficult to measure. Good job, Alexander. You nailed that. Very, very, very nice.
Or 3.
Okay, next question. Here we go. Subharmonics are created by using both the true and false vocal folds. So this is going to be a true-false. That's hilarious. I just realized it's true and false vocal folds, and it's also a true-false question. This one, you guys might have found out some info about it on YouTube. In order to create a subharmonic, essentially the vocal folds will usually be singing a lower note, and then above them is where the false folds are. They will engage a little bit, and they'll kind of interfere with the sound wave that's coming out. And because your true vocal folds are below your false vocal folds anatomically. And so what happens is you'll be singing a true tone, and then you'll sort of bring those false vocal folds in together, and that's what creates a subharmonic. It's kind of neat. Okay, Damien, would I react to folk or bluegrass? If so, yeah. I know Emmylou Harris, just saying. And yeah, I did listen to quite a bit of bluegrass and folk growing up. Just not nice. Rock or metal. Wow, congrats, Adam. Congrats, Carl. Very nicely done. Nabel, wow. And okay, but Alexander still got that right too. Okay, next question. Yeah, thanks, Tooth Fairy. Does a great one. What does CT stand for when discussing muscles in the larynx? This is partly due to Kirk's amazing pronunciation of this once upon a time. Oh, you just discovered bugga 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 from my... Juliet, that was so fun. You guys did a good job. To all of you that said cricothyronoid, I hope...
Cricothyronoid is right!
From Kirk's snow sleep reaction. I thought that was one of the most extraordinary descriptions. Anyhow, yeah, crythyroid and crythyroid are also, so it goes from, I can't tell you this yet because it gives away another question that's in there. I will talk about at what points this attaches in just a little while. But you did well, and that was just to make sure that nobody still believed it was the cricothyroid. I really, I died. Charismatic thorax. Yes, that works. Hey, Marco, you are not late. If you want to join in, you can. I guess you're late to joining in the game, but you can totally join. You still have a good chance of winning. And yes, you can absolutely win a prize. And Audelicious, maybe we should find something that helps with dyslexia when we're doing this. I feel bad for that. I don't think that there are any current possibilities within the game, but thank you. Sam Raimi is amazing, Wes. Yeah, what's up?
So all those that are playing the game right now, pay attention to the screen where you're answering because the slides should shift through there. If you're watching this stream on YouTube at the same time as you're playing the game and you're focusing on this stream, there's about a 20-second delay. So the question will already be long gone by the time it shows up on YouTube. So if you have two screens, watch the two screens. If you're only going off of one screen, then see if you can minimize chat so you can hear Elizabeth, but focus on the game.
And FYI, we are planning to do this more often. So we'll have some more of these in the future. Like maybe at the 500K party, which is probably going to be August 6th. Okay, and there'll be lots of prizes there. Sam Raimi is awesome. Thank you, Wes. I love Sam Raimi. Yes. Another name for the false vocal folds, that should be a D instead of an E, that might have been my typo, is the mandibular folds. And that's a true-false question, in case you were curious. Let's see. Lorna Shore. I've seen that name come up too. Thanks, Victor. Carl is killing it. I might have warned Carl that there was going to be a game. He probably did a bunch. I know. Fiona, it should be folds with the D. That was just a thing in there. Yeah. I apparently made up a good red herring for this. So when we're talking about the false vocal folds, they're also called the ventricular vocal folds. So instead of mandibular, they sounded similar. I was feeling very proud of that. Anyhow, yeah, Jimmy, we're at 460 subs. Congrats to everybody that got that, by the way. I feel like that was a very sneaky throw off. Nebulous, I know nothing, but that relates you to Jon Snow, which I think is good. Marker pleads the fifth.
All right, next one.
Nice job, Mike. Still perfect score? Cool. Man, Carl, you are killing it. And Alexander is right there with you. I'm super impressed right now, guys. Good job. Fiona, I am programmed to spot typos too. I don't know how that one got through. About how fast must the vocal folds vibrate to hit a high C6? Vocal mandibles, vocal folds. Yeah. Oh, this sounds like it's... Melanie says that she can confirm that Carl did not study, but been busy doing stuff in the house. Hey! I got a bunch of you with this one. I think it is so crazy high or so crazy fast for the vocal folds to do this because C6, right? That's up here. That's the high C that you think about when sopranos are like, I'm singing a high C. That's the C6 we're talking about. And your vocal folds basically go wacka, 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 wacka 1,046 times a second. That's what a hertz is. It's a cycle per second. So how many times per second do your vocal folds collide or come together and essentially divide the air up so that those divisions of air pressure are then sensed by eardrums, maybe even quite far away. So yeah, 1,046 times per second for a high C. That's so crazy. That's so fast. Yeah. And for a J7, I'm going to say like it's like at least 1 million. I love that. Yeah, the quiz is tough. It's tough. Yes, it's very, 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 very tough. I agree with that. I have made it tough on purpose because I wanted you guys to learn some fun things. I actually have a little tidbit to add at the end that I didn't get to put in the quiz that was really fun. So, yeah. Anyhow, good job. Carl and Alexander, you guys are still killing it. I'm impressed here. And Mabel's right there with you. Trivia for a throat doctor. Pedro, it's kind of true. This is trivia about voice, so throat, accurate.
You're behind.
Which of these does not directly affect the fundamental pitch? Yeah, Afrika. Powers of 2, every octave doubles. That's how we talk about frequencies rising. Interesting. So, here's the deal. Lung pressure does affect the fundamental pitch. I think this is a really tricky one. Fundamental pitch is the pitch that you're making right in here. So right at your laryngeal level, what's that pitch that's being created? After you make that pitch is shaped up above. So the CT and TA engagement is talking about those two muscle pairs that have to do with lengthening and shortening the vocal folds.
Someone asked what CT and TA mean.
Oh, so CTTA, so cricothyroid muscle, that's the one we had earlier, and TA is thyroarytenoid muscle. So those two muscles are going to be the main two that affect, and the CTs, there's actually several different CTs and different ways that they can be positioned. And the TA is like a really, really weird muscle. The TA sometimes is interchanged with the vocalis muscle. It's the one that if you see your vocal folds like this, the muscle that's on the outside of them, that's the thyroarytenoid. Sometimes part of it is called the vocalis muscle, FYI. So those are the main two that affect the stretching and the thickening, or they affect pitch a lot. But lung pressure underneath also can affect the pitch, which is why it can be so hard for people to tune themselves when they're singing loudly versus softly. The lung pressure underneath can actually cause the vocal folds to kind of bow up a little bit. So these three main things, TA, CT engagement, so those muscle activation, and lung pressure, breath pressure, that's right underneath here. The soft palate is in the shaping. So soft palate affects the sound a ton, but it does not affect the fundamental pitch, which happens right here. It can affect the resonance space or even maybe the overtone, so it might encourage certain overtones and discourage other ones. Anyhow, that was a lot. I know, it's lots of notes. Don't worry, the quiz at the 500K party is going to be all charismatic voice questions, which you guys are going to be super familiar with. This is me getting to nerd out. And Carla has pulled ahead. I know. What is a formant? You guys have heard them talked about in voice channels, I think. But there's so much confusion about what a formant actually is. So I wanted to put this one in here. It's one of the most misunderstood concepts, I think, in voice. People talk about formants and most people just kind of tune it out. They put it to the side. And it's admittedly not the easiest to understand. Ooh! But you guys are good. This is amazing. I'm very impressed. A resonance of the vocal tract is a great definition for a formant. Formants are shaped by things like tongue position. So E, ah, that's shaping essentially of a formant, and that can create a vowel, which a vowel is a resonance of the vocal tract. You create the sound here and then you shape it on top. So what happens when it's like, we call it a source filter theory. Okay, so the source is this and the filter is this. And basically you put some sort of filter, like an Instagram filter, which I used in a masterclass yesterday. Perfect. Instagram filter that is sort of coloring the sound that comes out. If you just heard the sound that's being made at your larynx, it would be slightly annoying, almost like an, if you heard like just the oboe mouthpiece without the resonance tube around it, without the whole body of the oboe, like just the mouthpiece, it would sound a little more like that, a little less reedy, but it's a very pure tone. So you have the source that's created, and that in itself creates harmonics, but then all of the way that your mouth is shaping that makes the sound waves like bounce in different ways, and it will highlight certain sounds and it'll get rid of other sounds. So when we make an E vowel, it's actually about how that shape in our mouth has highlighted certain sounds and discouraged other sounds. And that makes it come out sounding like an E vowel that we can identify. So that's where your formants get involved. It's really fun, and it gets like super nerdy. And if you guys ever want to go into the nerdiness of formants, isn't a formant a mold to make plastic ants? Michael, I loved that so much. You heard the burst. If you ever want to get nerdy about formants, let me know. Favorite black metal band is Mayhem. I love this. Rush band Gojira. We have been eyeing both of these, just FYI. Right. This is hilarious. You hear Kirk typing in the background. Yes, we are ready.
Carl!
Nice job, Alexander. Oh, hi, Cap. Thank you. Much, much appreciated. Which of these vocal disorders is caused by mechanical stress? It's going to be fun. Thank you, Tiesco. Sending lots of love back to you in Brazil. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Also, Skypod Images. Hey from local Tucson. Yay! Good job, guys. Okay. Vocal disorders are really fun and also kind of scary to learn about. We talked very thoroughly about all kinds of vocal disorders in English class. The ones that I actually know the most about originally are going to be the ones that are mechanical stress related. So that means that like the movement of parts in your larynx maybe it's too stressful. Maybe it's too harsh. Things are colliding too much. So in the case of vocal folds, if you're thinking about your vocal folds going boo, 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 right in your larynx, if they go bam, too hard together, and they do that repetitively, or like 1,046 times a second, like we saw with high C's, like that's a lot of collision. So that's mechanical stress. That tends to cause vocal nodules. That's one of the biggest ones we know about. Polyps are also related to mechanical stress. There's lots of things. Laryngitis is just due to an infection. So that's usually a viral infection. Vocal fold paralysis is a neurological disorder. Most of the time it has to do with the cutting of a nerve or a nerve not functioning well anymore due to something else. Tracheal stenosis is going to be something that's congenital, so something we usually see at birth where there's a narrowing of the trachea. Haha! All right. Oh, Tulip Bites. That's so fun. I think that I heard that a collab with Tulip Bites and Coldplay once. I know. Let's get more nerdy about formants. I love that. Thank you, Ang. Thank you. Good job, Fleur. Oh man, Fleur just nailed that. Whew. All right, a bright or brassy sound has a larger spectral slope than a fluty or breathy sound is what it should read. My bad, I totally made that mistake.
Yeah.
That's totally on me because I reshaped the formation of this sentence later. Jay, I have not won BBC Cardiff World Singer. I never have actually competed in that one, so haven't attempted that one. I did the biggest one I did was really the Queen Elizabeth competition. I did the Met one too, but Queen Elizabeth is much bigger. What's my favorite opera? Let's see, favorite opera. It will change any day. I love Traviata. I sing it so many times. I really, really love Traviata. I think it's amazing. But I tend to lean towards a lot of Puccini these days. I could listen to Butterfly over and over, or Bohème. I mean, I think the greatest operas out there often a lot of the ones that are shown the most tend to be some of the greatest, in my opinion. Oh, wait, what do we have?
Yeah, we gotta go.
Okay, spectral slope, I'll return to that. Bernoulli's law, which actually should have 2 L's. Again, I sent these over so fast, I should have checked them better. Bernoulli's law has 2 L's in it, by the way. And what does it refer to? When am I going to the Ginger concert? Not sure. But I will explain Bernoulli's and spectral slope in just a moment. Ooh, decoy. What happens to your vocal folds when you drink cold water versus room temp? I will talk about that too. Let's talk about Bernoulli. So I have 3 things here. Okay, interesting. Bernoulli's law, it refers to the vocal folds essentially being sucked together due to particle velocity and pressure. So as the air is going through your vocal folds, this is one of the things that helps with self-sustained oscillation, which is something that happens in vocal folds. And it's basically it helps them come back together. If you put two sheets of paper together and you blow out from between them, you'll see that the sheets of paper actually come together. It's very interesting. And it can actually create a negative pressure at one point, or negative relative pressure, I should say, in the vocal tract at one point, which is particularly of interest for vocal fold efficiency. Going back to spectral slope. Spectral slope is essentially saying when the overtones are dropping off. So if you see a slope like this, I'm saying from here to here, this might be backwards for you guys, you would see the first pitch that we hear as that fundamental pitch would be over here, and then a slope that goes down. Those are the harmonics or overtones. And if you see, this is a fairly shallow spectral slope, pretty small one. A small one like this has a lot of higher harmonics as well. And that sounds very bright to us. High, bright, right? Very brassy. And if you see a larger spectral slope where there's a bigger slope down, that's going to sound more fluty or breathy. When it's breathy, we tend to not see as many bright overtones. That has to do with like the wave visualization, which is really fun. Let me talk about cold water versus room temp, because Decoy, that was an awesome, awesome question. There are singers that have very strong opinions about this. I personally like room temp water, maybe even hot water on my vocal folds, because I feel that it helps my muscles continue to be loose and able to move and function. But some singers like cold because they think it can help their muscles not to start swelling as much. If you're going really fast and singing high notes really fast, like you can develop some swelling in there. It's natural. So the cold can help reduce that. However, it's going to stiffen up that movement a little bit. So if I'm a high soprano, most sopranos I know don't really like cold water because they feel that it impedes their ability to sing really fast high notes. But it's kind of a similar thing to athletes. Like you can start icing partway through the process if you want to sort of negate some of the swelling. Can be helpful. Anyhow, that was amazing. Doesn't a breathy sound have a lot of noise? Wideband. Yes, Eddie, it has a ton of noise in it. So the spectral slope is usually referring more to the overtones and harmonics. And those are not as bright and don't carry as much.
Ready?
Yes. Next one.
No, let's do the results.
Oh, results. Bobtown has taken over the lead. And Binder Friends is also there. And Maker. This is impressive, guys. I'm seeing a lot of people that are learning really good stuff here. I'm super happy. Having well-hydrated vocal folds helps a person to sing higher. True or false? Drink Mountain Dew. Hugo, I don't know if Mountain Dew would help with high water, but yeah, hot water, and I do like hot water. Thank you, Carlos. Water-cooled vocals, Johan, exactly. Thank you. Yes, this is true. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why. On the vocal folds, ones that are going wacka, 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 there is a thin layer of mucus on it. And that layer of mucus, if it is essentially more blubbery, it is going to vibrate better. And that's also going to make it so that the collision force is less too, which is why drinking water is really important for preventing any sort of mechanical stress injury. So yes, when you're going higher, and there's been studies that that will measure exactly how much higher you can get due to having better hydration in your vocal folds. But 100% more hydration is easier singing across the board. So drink lots of water. All right, next one.
Well, let's see the results.
Oh, results first. Oh, I had a really good question in here. Best trees. Hey, E-Man. What's up? I know E-Man from Game Audio. He's awesome. Best teas to drink as a vocalist. I recommend herbal teas for the most part. So caffeine Caffeine literally can make your vibrato faster. I should have written that in here. It is a true thing, true fact. Caffeine can make your vibrato go faster. So as much as I love caffeine, it's not a good idea to drink a whole bunch of caffeine right before a big vocal performance. Maybe early in the morning to wake up. So herbal teas. Which of these do not assist in breathing? Good question. Can I do an artist like Tom Waits? Timothy, I would consider it, yes. Bobtown, Gruff, you are doing a crazy good job of guessing then. Which of these do not assist in breathing? All right, what did you guys put here? Okay, I'm really happy about this answer too. External intercostal muscles, internal intercostal muscles, and abdominal muscles all assist. I did not put diaphragm because I knew that all of you would get it. So internal and external, those are about breathing in and breathing out. They do different directions, and they're between your ribs. Abdominal muscles are below your diaphragm. They assist, especially in the diaphragm going back up. The diaphragm goes down, and the abdominal muscles will sometimes resist it going back up, which really helps with breath control and making it so the air doesn't just go whoosh and smack into your larynx and cause some damage. Pectoral muscles, of course, have nothing to do with it whatsoever. So guys that are like beefing up your pecs, it's not going to help with the breathing. Anyhow, I thought that was an easy question. You guys are right. Gremlins waiting for me. Vale, how dare you? I hate gremlins. And depending on the temperature of the water, you know what, Diablo's Wrath, I will tell you it takes about 2 hours, which is a very rough estimate for water to get through to your vocal folds. So, temperature-wise can affect the muscle flexibility. Nice job, Binder. Wow, you guys are awesome. So temperature can affect the flexibility of the muscles, but ultimately the hydration getting to the vocal folds isn't going to happen until it gets digested and goes through your bloodstream and is able then to be sent into the outer mucus layer of your vocal folds. It takes some time for hydration to get there. If you steam, that is direct hydration. So yay for steaming. Anyhow, keep going.
Here we go. Few questions left.
Yes, Eddie, diaphragm is the biggest muscle for breathing. So I thought everybody would know it, so I was sneaky. Around age 50, both male and female voices go down in pitch as they age. True or false? Juliet, vodka can turn you into an opera singer. Confirm. This is false. This is one of those really surprising questions or answers that I think is fun to talk about. Up until age 50, we generally see pitch go down as people age. There can be some bumps along the way, and everybody has different anatomy, so you might see something shift. But after age 50, female voices continue to lower in overall pitch, and male voices actually start going back up. And that's why grandma and grandpa can sometimes sound a little bit similar on the phone. Right? I think it's really, really interesting. That shift only happens about age 50 though. So that's why I put that marker in there. It's sort of an interesting thing to suddenly say, oh, they are going down until 50, but then they start to shift. Woot! Nice job. Okay, Carl, Fleur, Kilo, Mike, Binder, C.A. Daniels, Ranguan. This is amazing. It sounds like a bunch of people are kind of neck up at the top there because I've seen a bunch of shifting over the last couple. Oh, I'm going to get another question here from Decoy. Oh, but the singer's formant explains why singers are able to be heard without amplification over a large orchestra. Is that true or false? And Decoy, in terms of ironing out your vocal breaks, how would you best tackle singing in your break area? Surely it requires a great deal of support, but how would you mix it? I'm going to talk about that a bunch. That's a great question. Yes, singer's formant. True. So the singer's formant is a collection of upper resonances, essentially, that we typically find very prominent and enhanced in opera singers. And so when you're looking at an understanding of how does a singer project so that they're heard over this huge 50, 100-piece orchestra, the answer is the main pitches that everyone is playing, we hear those, but then after a little bit, like really, really high, like overtones area, you see the sudden bump in singers' voices. You don't see that in the orchestra. So as you're going along, everybody kind of goes up, then there's a spectral slope, which we talked about earlier, and then singers have like a boop. Opera singers have that boop, and it's a collection of essentially I think it's the third to fifth formants is where we get that extra boost. It's about 2,000 to 3,000 hertz for those of you that nerd out about that. It's really cool. That's why opera singers train for so much additional resonance. Decoy, I want to answer this question. In terms of ironing out vocal breaks, best to tackle singing in your break area. Yes, it requires support. Everything requires support. So you need to have steady, controlled breath flow. Tackling your break, that's where you're shifting between registers. So that register shift usually happens because as you're going up, the TA muscles can't continue to try and help the pitch shift up. So you have to transfer over to have more CT muscle engagement. So a lot of people take too much TA up. So it's gonna be like too much weight. It's too chesty. So if I went like, oh, like I would be really taking a ton of weight up. And then if it was gonna break over, oh, it's gonna like have like a sudden shift where the CT had to engage and it didn't have a fluid transfer. So ironing out a break tends to be about a fluid transfer between these two. Mixing is essentially mixing the two muscles more, and that is very valid. I like to think about peppering in lightness early on, and that helps you keep a slender sound as you go up. Training on a straw or any SOVT exercises is great for that. Semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, I have things about that from earlier videos on the channel. And you can also mix down versus mix up. So you can go from like high to low and try and add in some more focus as you're going down, but not necessarily go into a lower register. So you can train it both ways, mixing high to low or low to high. I think that it depends on the person for which one of those is better and what kind of tone quality they're looking for. Hormone production and age, by the way, Enlightened Bell, needs to be studied a whole bunch more. Yes, it absolutely affects things as well, but it's mostly due to, it's going to be largely due to collagen and elastin that is sort of stiffening. The collagen grows in and stiffens the vocal folds more. The elastin helps keep it bouncy. So people develop over age a little more stiffness in the vocal folds. Yes, last question. Everyone's like, we want to know about prizes. Oh, last question. Which song is best? This is Kirk's question. This is amazing. Oh, I don't think many people have even seen the one on the far left. I think that's a private video. Thank you, High Speed Nerf, for this suggestion. When is my metal album dropping? Good question. The answer is obviously the thumbnail song, but I appreciate Lament of the Highborn. That was killer work. Kirk and I really did a good job. But yeah, the thumbnail song. Judith, pregnancy affecting the voice? 100%. It is very has a very large effect on the voice. There are actually hormones that can help heal damage in the vocal folds that occur during pregnancy, so that's a big positive. A lot of women report having a lower sensation of support as while they're pregnant and after they're pregnant because they become more in tune with their pelvic floor. Good job, Carl. Congrats to Carl, Kilo Mike, Rongon, Fleur, Bobtown. So those are our top 5. All 5 of you can have a shirt. One of these magnificent shirts. Kirk, you're going to talk about how they can get that, right?
Yes. So I believe there should be something on your screen to submit your information. So click on that, and it'll ask for your email address and your name, so on and so forth, and then we will get the results, and we'll email you about further steps.
And then Carl, Kilo, Mike, and Rongwan, you guys are going to be all entered into a drawing for a bigger prize, which should be super fun.
Which I can't reveal yet because we haven't agreed on.
You know what? Fleur did not agree with that assessment of best song.
Because the rules in the beginning stated the top 5, I can't strike you from receiving merch. But next time, Fleur,
I love that,
you should
Fleur.
get that answer right.
That was amazing. That last one dropped. Oh, you know what, Ruben? It's true. Kirk's question.
Swap that over.
You did. You know what? Place 26 is still good. There was a lot of extra super nerdy things in this one. Jostein? I have not heard the rock opera Witch. It's a cool name though.
Let's switch over to...
We're going to go back here. Oh,
Yep.
You're right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go back. Default scene. I'm getting so good at using this. I'm going to go back to your comments here and answer a few more. But congratulations to everybody. And thanks for playing. I thought it would be fun to totally nerd out about voice with you guys for a minute. So that was just me and really being happy to talk about voice and nerd out. Wow, I'm impressed. There were a lot of you playing, and I think that it seemed like it went pretty smoothly. If there are comments that you have or suggestions for things that you would like to see as far as these kinds of games in the future, we're planning to have more. Just think it's a really fun way to engage, and today was my choice. I got to go vocal nerdery because of the course that I just finished, and it was super fun. I thought there were extra fun things in it. Oh, the extra super fun thing that I wanted to tell you guys about that I didn't put in a question was that when talking about pulse or fry register, which is that super low sound, like super down there, right, that kind of sound, the actual scientific definition for it is that there's a temporal gap, and that means that when it's like right around 70 hertz, so 70 times per second, the vocal folds are coming together. So when it's 70 times per second, our ears can actually perceive a tiny bit of space between the notes. It's kind of cool, or between the coming together of vocal folds. So that's your crossover frequency. And after that, it's called a temporal gap. So we hear that temporal gap, and that's why it sounds a little more crackly. There's also fry where you have crackly from false vocal folds getting involved. That's a totally different thing. We're talking about pulse register, which is sometimes called fry register, and honestly, I just wish that the two names were totally separate because they are not referring to the same thing. So anyhow, it's really cool to think about, our ears can hear it when it's slower than 70 times per second. It's like frame rate in TV. Like you can perceive that when it's below a certain amount. I think it's 2418 or something like that. So really interesting. But I didn't put that in this one because I thought about it later in a session and did not have time to get it back in. What was the first question? The first question, I know which one it was because I was wondering when it would come up. First question is about cartilages. I was asking which cartilages are in the larynx technically. And I'll tell you, it's the thyroid cartilage, the cricoid cartilage, the arytenoid cartilages, and the epiglottis. So epiglottis is there to close as a flap when you swallow so that water doesn't go down your trachea and instead it goes down your esophagus. And then the cricoid and the thyroid cartilages, they're right around that voice box area, and the arytenoid cartilages, there's a pair there. And when you talk about like the thyroarytenoid muscle, that's going from the thyroid cartilage to the arytenoids. And when you talk about the cricothyroid, that's going from the cricoid to the thyroid, right? So that's how we name the muscles between, is essentially by which cartilages they're attaching to. And I want to shout out, thank you, Hurricane Merchant. Thanks. I said love your content and enthusiasm. What headphones do I use for everyday listening?
Go ahead. Answer the question.
And do I have plans for more stuff like Lament? Yes. So these headphones are going to be your DT 1990 Pros, Beyerdynamics, not Behringer. It's a different thing. That's a music printing company. This is, I like these a lot. I have been trying a variety of headphones out. I've been checking some out. Sennheiser headphones I think are quite good in general as well. These ones are kind of expensive. Open backed, takes pressure off of the ears, which is really important for me. I also really have to say I like AirPods because I can move around and I don't have to worry about a cord attaching me. Hit or miss a little bit on some sound quality though. So if I want like really, really clear listening, I like open backed all the way over the ear headphones. And I have plans for a unicorn video that hopefully will come out soon that's like Lament.
Really quickly, to the 5 people that won, apparently Kirk screwed things up again. And there was no option for you to submit your information. So email me. The 5 of you, go ahead and email me. It's totally fair. And send me your information.
Do they have your email?
My email is, I'm going to put it in chat. Kirk@thecharismaticvoice.com.
It's very difficult. So he will put that in chat. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that they just changed ownership at Freaka. And really, truly, there's some good headphones out there. We're checking some out right now. So those aren't the only options. Those are just both really good options. Do allergies affect a singer's voice because of postnasal drip? Nell, yes. Allergies are awful. I've struggled with nodules on my cords a couple different times when I was singing a big role and in an environment that I was allergic to. It causes all kinds of swelling. And it's not just the postnasal, though that's bad, but there's just swelling throughout. And if you're singing something really heavy on top of that, it is just asking for something bad to happen. I think if you're singing a few songs, it's fine. But if you're singing like 6 or 8 hours a day, it's not fine. It's really a struggle. So for me, I had to go to an allergist and an otolaryngologist at the same time to try and work that out. And ultimately, allergy drops in combination with very specific allergy medications helped them to go away. Thank you, Ruben and Paolo, for helping us with this too. Much appreciated. Have I ever told you about the octopus? Dave, the octopus story is in the Devon interview. And thanks, by the way, for shout outs about the Devon interview. That was so fun to do. You can learn about the octopus in the Devon interview, or you can also watch it on the Devon reaction analysis to why. Joanna Newsom, don't know her. All right, let's see. Any other Rhapsody on Fire? Yes, like them. Oh, and headphone amps, you can also absolutely use that too. So thumbs up on that for sure. Allergy drops. So allergy drops and allergy shots are 2 different ways to essentially build up your immune system so that you don't have as many allergies, period. Allergy drops were sublingual. They went underneath my tongue. They were not covered by insurance at the time, and I was fresh out of college. It was so expensive. It was really tough to handle. So just a little warning there. I'm not sure if insurance covers them now, but they're sublingual drops. It's very much accepted in other countries as a good way to help with immunotherapy, but I'm not sure if the US insurance system has come to covering it yet. And then also the allergy shots are the same thing, where you get regular shots to essentially help reduce your system's reaction to that allergen. Hey, Sam! Just wanted to say how much we appreciate your content, and I've personally loved to see you delve deeper into Heavy Debbie and Ginger. Best wishes to you and Kirk from New Zealand. Thank you, Sam. We're gonna be at Bloodstock in the middle of August. And I'm really excited to actually get to meet both of them in person because they're also supposed to be at Bloodstock. And we do plan to bring you live footage from backstage here on the channel. I know, how cool is that? Okay, I'm so excited for that. You guys should come to Bloodstock too. saying, if you can. I know it's extremely difficult with COVID and travel regulations right now. Christine, if I live in Arizona, do I have problems with the dust? I personally don't have many problems with the dust unless I've been doing a lot of stuff outside. So that's not bad. Another thing is that your voice actually adapts to dryness of an environment. So I do have a dust allergy that I used to have, but it's much, much, much less now because of the allergy drops. So that's really not a factor for me at this point. As far as dryness goes, voices adapt to dryness in the environment. So our body will start essentially making more fluids to help protect us. But often that takes, now, this is what they think is how much it takes. They think it takes about 2 weeks for a person's voice to adapt to dryness, but it seems like it's very dependent on a body and a person's genetics. So if you go from an environment that's really humid to an environment that's really dry, it's going to be difficult to sing for a while because your body just won't recognize that it needs to change that covering on your vocal folds. And you can do direct steaming to help with that hydration, but as far as the hydrating your body, it might not actually send the fluids to the top of your vocal folds. So in that case, that means that you need to just go there earlier if you have a big performance and bring a steamer because that's your topical hydration. It's a good question. Beyond jealous you're seeing Heilung at Red Rocks. Kenrick, you should be jealous. It's so fun. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Kenrick, we're so excited. So very excited to see them. So that's going to be awesome. Really awesome. We've got a few other concerts that I know we're attending as well. So we'll have various things throughout the year. And I'm hoping that as things open up more and hopefully stay open, depending on health, safety, all those good things, as we go and do concerts or festivals, we'll definitely let you guys know about them, and we'll schedule things like meetups. So should be fun. Oh, Santa Claus and Diego, I know. It's the beard. It's pretty awesome. Ooh, hey Noah, woot woot. Are the kids still saying this? A good Noah, I say woot woot all the time. It's acceptable. I say woohoo too. I also say wacka 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 and bugga bugga bugga.
Hey Noah.
You're that Noah. I know who you are. Yes. John Morris, love the channel. Do you have any Liliac reactions planned? The singer Melody has gotten a lot of Dio comparisons. I didn't know that. I've seen this name come up a few times, and I have it, like it's on my radar, but I don't currently have any reactions planned. I'm really piqued in curiosity, though, knowing that it's compared, Liliac is compared often to Dio and Maiden. So, thank you for that knowledge. It's very good. Who has the broadest vocal octave range I have ever heard? Troy, I honestly don't know. And I'm not sure if we're talking about live versus online. So I think that it's possible that as far as online that I've heard, Dimash might actually win that because of the crazy, crazy high screech whistle. I'm not even sure that's whistle. That sound is nuts that he's got. And he's also got some access, I think, probably to subharmonics, but I'm not entirely sure. There are people that I think there was somebody that could sing above the keyboard, but even above human hearing range. I was told about it at one point. So I think there's different things out there. I don't know who currently has the world record on it, though. Let's see, what else do I have here? Boop. Boop. Can falsetto be taught, or if it can, do you need something inherent in your physiology to learn it? Diablo's Wrath? That's an awesome question. Falsetto is just when your TA muscle, the thyroarytenoid one, isn't as much engaged. So that means that your CTs are much, much stronger. And one of the cool things is normally vocal folds go like this. So from this side, you would just see it going wacka, wacka, wacka. But if you were to look at a cross section as going like this as it's coming through, and the muscle is like on this side, so that's where your TA muscle is. When the TA muscle isn't engaged, it actually goes like this, and it lets up off of the bottom part, and just the top portion of your vocal folds is connecting there. So there's a CT that's stretching it this way, but TA is here. So basically, in order to do falsetto, you need to learn how to disengage your TA while engaging your CT. So anyone can be taught, yes. Paolo Venturi, I'd like to see more reactions to Angelina Jordan. I would like to see that too. Do world language accents affect vocal potential? Louis, that's a really cool question. So people that have a different native language often have a different neutral position that they might find. So if you think about like a neutral vowel in English is but a neutral vowel in French is and a neutral vowel in Italian tends to be ah. So it's interesting thinking about, okay, well, what is their ground zero, and does that affect their timbre overall? I would love to see more studies on it. I don't think there's anything that's backed by a ton of data, because I think it has so many different elements, you would have difficulties really quantifying just one aspect of it. But in general, one of the things that I think opera singers would talk about is that Russians tended to have a darker sound. Is that just due to genetics and their structure overall? Maybe their vocal tracks are a little bit longer overall. We don't know that, but that might be the language that's there. And definitely being exposed to different sounds that you can articulate when you're younger is helpful. So a rolled R is very important in opera to be able to do at some point, because of Italian and singing in Italian, essentially. And being able to form different sounds to be able to sing in different languages is important for opera singers. For other singers, it's mostly important to be able to sing in the language of the culture where you want to be sending out the most music. So sometimes for a lot of singers, that's going to be English, to try and really get on things like, more mainstream music. Dimash has been trying to do that a bunch. Or for some people, that might be Korean. Are they trying to break into K-pop or J-pop? ? Let's see. And Gray Fry, what's the worst animal-related smell you've ever experienced? What did it smell like? How bad was your reaction to it? That's hilarious. Let's see. Okay. Animal-related smell, the worst one. It was probably something on the orchard growing up. We had some terrible smells there. I'll tell you, one of the things that I think was the most disgusting smell on the orchard, this happened rather frequently, so it might have not just been one time, but it was like, oh no, don't do it. It's when the dogs would go down to the lake. We lived beside this lake on an orchard, and the lake would get kind of down and lower as the summer went on and it started to dry up, and there would be a bunch of fish that would die. So the fish would die on the side, and the dogs were like, yeah, this smells great. And they would go and roll in dead fish, and they'd come back wet dog and dead fish combined, and then hop up on the couch with me. And it was just so disgusting. So I think that's the worst. What was my reaction? I immediately shoved the dog off of my lap and was like, go take a bath, and then tried to wash it off, and it was the worst. That was a funny question. Thank you. Rodent, no last name, said, have you seen the Mythbuster episode where they filmed an opera singer actually breaking a wine glass with his voice? I saw that a long time ago. Yes. It is doable. You often need amplification to do it. All right, any other, just FYI, I think we're going to wrap this up in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to keep going through some of your questions here. Boom, 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 boom. See, dogs love potent smells. True. Any plans, videos with bad performances from professional singers? Rodolfo, that's a great question. It is very unlikely that I'll do that. And because the reason is that I really like building up good singing and people, and I don't like to tear down people. That's something that I think is like more in the channel motto and my vision, and that is to help people appreciate what's good and also learn how to be better. And I think that if I focus on horrible singer videos, I even put this in a patron thing recently. Florence Foster Jenkins is like shocking to hear, but would I go back and talk about everything that's bad about it? If it was in a funny way that didn't feel like it was really tearing anybody down, I think it would actually be really informative and kind of fun to do. But the moment that it feels like it's not having some sort of positive influence in the world, it's not really something I want to put out. IceFox94, could I react to more YouTube singers? I think you're talking about people who have just like made it on YouTube and maybe haven't done bands or touring. And I'm totally open to that. Yeah, 100%. Oh, Starshine, have I ever noticed that it always seems to be the vocalist for a band that gets interviewed? Yeah, I have noticed that. I think it's because people often connect with the voice in a really emotional way. They feel more connection with the vocalist often because of that. It doesn't have to be that way, but the voice is able to essentially conduct emotion very well. And they're also conducting the message with the lyrics. So those things can really connect to a lot of people in the audience, which I think that's my theory for why vocalists get more attention. The reason I interview vocalists is because I'm a nerd about voice. As much as I would love to interview Danny Carey about drums, I just don't know drums that well. I want to ask the deep questions about the thing that I've studied my whole life. So that's why I interview the vocalists. Thank you, Fiona. And congrats again. Thank you to everybody at the room. Deep Purple, yes, I know that's going to happen. All right, so I think we're going to sign off here, guys. Okay, maybe I'll take one more question. Mateus, my husband's in chat. Casca, I've never played the didgeridoo. I really want to. Pirates or ninjas? Oh, I should know that answer. Pirates or ninjas? Ninjas. They're both really cool. I love Vencanto stuff, Gruffleduff. And yes, thank you, Reed Brandon Sanders San Diego. Yes, I think I've read almost all of his books already, which is quite a few. Davey Breed, Rush, On the Way, spoken word songs, love them, Shadow War Child. Analysis of Prince. Yes, Joe, we have plans for that. It's been in the making for a while. I just haven't had time to really completely find the thing I want to do with those artists that I already know. I know what I want to do, but I need to have a few more details coming together in it. But that is something in the making. Haven't ever interviewed Alanis? No. And why do I keep yawning when singing along with the radio and cruising in the car? Lubly, it's probably because you're activating a few muscles that are associated with yawning muscles too, especially the soft palate. If you're raising the soft palate, you start to go back there, it makes you want to start to yawn. So it's an activation of a muscle. Thank you, Dwayne. What did you think you would grow out of but haven't? M&Ms? Maybe M&Ms. Probably M&Ms. Christmas trees. Stuffed animals? Yeah, I never grew out of stuffed animals. No. Yeah, I think there's quite a few things in there. I never thought I would grow out of Nutella. I didn't know what Nutella was until I went to France when I was 18. So, knew then. It was lifelong love. All right, darlings. Thank you so much for this chat. Thanks for hanging out with us. And thank you for playing this game and nerding out with me about voice. I hope you guys have everything together with Kirk and you've got your prizes. Remember, if you haven't, email him at kirk@thecharismaticvoice.com. And I think other than that, we will see you guys on Friday for our first ever King Diamond reaction. Oh my goodness, it's going to be great. Don't forget, if you want to, you can comment on this video. We'll also see comments in chat. Let us know if there's any other way to you would like to see this fun game tool used. And last super chat here, Matthias Hurst, not musical, but sure love your metal. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that you learn. And thank you for joining us from Switzerland. I love it. All right. Signing out, wishing you guys a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for this fun midweek break. Bye.